not going to stop. Promised you this, didn't I?
No! Do you have any idea what you've just done?
No. Don't care. My client ordered me to reduce Umbrella to rubble.
10 minutes until missile impact.
The missile has launched. And that is my cue. Goodbye, Miss Valentine. Shame you didn't listen to me when you had the chance.
Jill! Shoot him!
I can't! I'll hit you!
Do it! You have to! There's no other way. Take the shot!
Carlos!
I was not aiming.
I told you I couldn't leave you in a Carlos's world. That would just be too cruel.
I totally was not even aiming anywhere near your chest, bro.
What about him?
Why'd you do it?
There's a price tag for everything. Even letting the world burn.
Who are you working for?
I'll tell you, if you get me out of here. I'll pay you whatever you want. You're a fool. You're a fool! If I die, you'll never find out the truth.
I don't mind a little detective work.
Now, they said there's only one ending, so I wonder if... I almost wonder if I had not shot him, would Barry show up to rescue Jill?
Jill, you alright?
There it is.
You might want to land right now, Carlos, buddy. Yeah, that helicopter's going down. Bullshit. That helicopter should be fried.
It's finally over.
That thing should be a giant paperweight after that.
So long, Marcy.
I felt empty and cold as the heat from the blast washed over us. All this death wasn't caused by a monster-making virus.
Kinda was.
It was greed.
No, it was the virus.
Human greed. I decided then and there, the ashes of Raccoon City would be Umbrella's ashes too. I would end them, once and for all.
Okay. That's Resident Evil 3 Remake. How to break this down. First I'm going to talk about this game on its own merits. And then I'm going to talk about as it relates to the original. On its own merits, this game is... This is a fantastic game. If a little weird in its pacing. And that's really what kills it. That's really the heart. That's a little much. It doesn't kill it, but that's what holds this game back, is its ridiculously insane pacing. And that really goes down to two things. The first of those is Nemesis. Nemesis is so overused here. It's like the people who made the game didn't understand that there was more going on in Resident Evil 3 than Nemesis. Like, he could show up, yeah, but there was a game there besides Nemesis that was going on. There was exploration, and they got the exploration right. But especially towards the middle of the game, where it's entirely one Nemesis set piece after another, after another, after another, you have this huge, you have this huge blowout of an action set piece on top of a burning building with Nemesis, and that really should have been the end of it for Nemesis for a good long while in the game. When you have like a big, when you have a shark, it's the Jaws. It's the Jaws logic. When you have a big bad monster, less is more. Nemesis could show up. He could show up quite often in the original, but you rarely saw him. Like, it was rare that you'd see him less than an hour after the last time you saw him, unless you were just terrassing through the game. Like, unless you were just, if you were just speedrunning the game, of course he's going to show up all the time. But if you're just playing the game, especially if it was your first time playing the game, generally it was going to be like 30 minutes to an hour between encounters with the Nemesis. And they're all optional. There are, I want to say, maybe 2 or 3 mandatory encounters with Nemesis in the original. That's it. The courtyard of the clock tower would be one, and the acid room would be another, and the final boss fight with the railgun. That's all I can think of. Those are the only 3 times where you have to fight Nemesis. Every other time is optional. You have the option of running away from him. And once you put enough distance between you and him, he would not show up. So, like, he'd be in the area for a while, but he just wouldn't show up. He would have a higher likelihood of showing up on patrol. But again, completely optional. So, the fact that this game forces you into so many Nemesis-themed set pieces in such a short amount of time changes him from being a threatening, looming shadow over the entire game to being this annoying, stressful, exhausting set-piece monster. Like basically a cutscene monster that you have to deal with. And that's what drags the game down. It feels like they had to stuff in as many... It feels like they wanted to stuff in as many of the things Nemesis did as they could. And that is aggravated by the second problem, which is they cut off the first half of Resident Evil 3. And that means that there's less space to space out those Nemesis encounters. So as a result, he goes from being this shadow over the whole game, this looming shadow over you, to being an annoying, scripted boss, essentially. An annoying, like, runaway boss. You heard how tired of it I was getting. It's like, oh great, another scripted scene where I have to run from Nemesis. You know, it's a damn shame that they got him this bad. They did him this badly. So how does it relate to the original? Look, there's no sugarcoating it. The original had a branching story path that had randomized item placement. It had multiple endings. It had the mercenaries. It had a more well-paced storyline. It was an action horror. Like, I think that Resident Evil 3 is an action horror masterpiece. Like, Resident Evil 3 is fantastic. So that's full disclosure. I fucking adore that game. This game doesn't have branching decision points. It does not have multiple endings. It does not have a randomized item placement that make the game a different game every time you play. It doesn't even have the mercenaries. It has a very abridged, truncated, frantic version of Resident Evil 3's plot. I feel that it is a good game on its own. This is a great game on its own, but it does not have like Resident Evil 2, it's missing the point of a lot of the decisions that were made in the original. Will I play it again? Absolutely. Okay, what is the what's the damage? Huh? What's going on here? Okay. 7 deaths. Rank C. 64 times saved. Damn it! Wanted to get to 100. At least 70. Alright, Nemesis down, escape, survivor. The shop has been unlocked. You can now purchase items from the shop, which is accessible via the main menu. Points used to unlock items can be earned by completing in-game challenges. View them in the record screen. Alright. Bonuses. The shop. Current points. Alright. I have 8,000 points. Increases your attack power when held. That is like straight out of Resident Evil 7. Gradually regenerate health. Hot dogger. What the fuck? Raiden, what? Infinite CQBR, assault rifle. Oh, wow, that's super. That has gone from one of the cheapest items to one of the most expensive items. 15 shot capacity, 9mm handgun. It's been customized according to Jill's personal specifications. Excellent across the board, with exceptional accuracy and firepower. Hip pouches. A small belted pouch good for carrying more items. Will not be available as this would exceed the maximum inventory capacity. And bolt cutters, cables and the like. Lockpick. What? Field combat manual. While held, increases the amount of ammo gained while crafting. Oh, there's actually a lot here. The infinite handguns sounds pretty good, actually. Greatly increases your attack power when held. Perfect dodge becomes easier to perform. Edited by Chris Redfield. So, you gotta have this shit, like, clogging up your inventory? Cables and the like. So you can basically start out with the lockpick and the bolt cutters. Anti-bioweapon knife is used by those who like to show off. What the fuck? Energy weapon developed by Umbrella based on airborne electrical phenomena. It possesses great stopping power, but only when targeting enemy weak points. Recoilless rocket launcher that fires 84mm projectiles. The piercing power of the rocket causes more damage than the explosion. See, Jill Star's gear as she wore during the mansion incident. If I want a costume, I can just mod in a costume. Alright. Well, that's something to think about. What do we got? Stage 1 Nemesis A. I do not like his weird caution tape outfit. It's like he's wearing a bunch of garbage bags. He had this badass leather trench coat in the original, and he didn't have that stupid heart either. Like, he didn't have... That was one of the cool things about him, is he didn't have any weaknesses. Like, Nemesis did not have a weak point. He was just there. He was just, here's fucking Nemesis. It's like ready or not, bitch, here's Nemesis. I got no weaknesses. And he was scary and cool. Here's Carlos. There's the various hunters. So, we got a Hunter Gamma. So disappointing. Disappointing. I guess the Hunter Betas? I don't see the Chimeras in there. Uptown. Oh, that's a cool shot in the bottom. Okay, Jill's room. It's a really nice apartment. I am not me! For Itchy Tasty. Barjack. So there's another thing from the original is the death of Vickers. The death of Vickers dies way differently in the original than he does here. Like old Chickenheart gets face wanged by Nemesis in the original in front of the police station. Let's see. Dario's warehouse. Yeah, you never got to see Dario's warehouse. This was like that big room is your first save point in the original. And this is exactly like it was in the original, almost. So it's weird that they replicated it to this degree of detail and didn't let you explore it. Let's see. Donut shop. There is a restaurant in gas station. Ooh, the boutique. There is a restaurant in the original, and it's the location of one of the Nemesis encounters. Oh, that's grim. Like at the bottom there. Lab corridors. Let's see. Stage 2 Nemesis B. I don't like that they turned him into like this big, like, hulking monster. And they did it halfway through the game. Like, Nemesis didn't, like, mutate into, like, this giant mess until, like, the last fight. Like, up until then, he was completely humanoid the whole time. He might be a bit tentacular. Like, he might have, like, some tentacles just sort of going, like, sticking out of him and stuff. But he, like, two arms, 2 legs, a head. You know, he was a giant humanoid, and he's actually not that big. This game turns him into, like, this, like, fucking giant, but Nemesis was actually, like, pushing, like, he was, like, 6.5 feet pushing 7 in the original. He was human size. He was a bad motherfucker. He was human size, and he had no weak points, and that is, I don't like his design here. Okay, that's the getaway. Model. Let's see, and here's stars. They don't say anything. I would used to play RE3 with the stars outfit, so. There's Carlos in his weird ass Ooh, look at his pouches. Look at his pouches bouncing around. Carlos and his weird ass. Dude looks like a homeless Kevin Sorbo with his hair. Like, he's not that old. Like, he's actually, like, quite young. So I don't know why they decided to make him look like this old ass man. Pose A. Oh, Zombie Carlos. Okay. Is that, yeah, that's happening. That is not my imagination. There is an ample amount of jiggle in her model. He's got, like, it looks like he's wearing a garbage bag. I don't like this design. He's got, like, this big glowing fuck me light in his chest. What the fuck do you get for the Charlie dolls? Let's see. Murphy Seeker. Poor Marvin. Marvin does not bounce. They have not added jiggle physics to Marvin. Records. What the fuck are the challenges? Okay, so long RC. Complete all challenges. Nemesis down. Okay. Hello, Charlie. Destroy Charlie doll. Trusty sidearm. Defeat 80 enemies with the handgun. Okay. Gunslinger. 200 enemies with a handgun. 100 enemies with a shotgun. Okay. Defeat 130 enemies with a shotgun. Defeat 80 enemies with a grenade launcher. Defeat 120 enemies with a grenade launcher. Defeat 20 enemies with a magnum. Defeat 80 enemies with a magnum. 200 enemies with an assault rifle. 400 enemies with an assault rifle. Defeat 400 enemies. Defeat 800 enemies. Defeat 1,100 enemies. 1,400. The one zombies fear. 2,000. Okay. Knock the hats off 28 zombies. Gather all the fuses in the warehouse within 5 minutes. Oh, hey. Collect all weapons in the campaign. Collect all weapon parts. I missed one! Shit. Read all story files. I missed 6. Destroy all Charlie dolls. I missed 4 of them. Unlock all saves, lockers, strong boxes, and pickable locks. Huh. I missed 1 somewhere. Complete the game on assisted or higher. Complete the game on standard or higher. And on hardcore or higher. Conqueror. Complete the game with an S rank on standard or higher. Jill Valentine. Points earned. OP 0 points. What? Complete the game with an S rank. Game without opening the item box. Complete the game using 1 or fewer recovery items. Complete the game in under 2 hours of playtime. Alright. So most of these seem to be set up to happen on your second run. Okay. Most of these seem to be set up to happen on your second run. So here's what I'm going to do. Greatly increases your attack power when held. Carry 2 to increase the effect. Greatly decreases your defense when held. This is actually a hard choice. Going high attack power would mean using less ammo. This is true. But so would having an infinite ammo fucking handgun. And I don't know, like, hot dogger, I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll have to see if the Samurai Edge is infinite ammo. But it doesn't specify that it's infinite. Alright. I think that's going to be it for me for now. I might go attack power, to be honest. Attack power seems to be the way to go just to get a lot of these done. But then I'm like giving up 2 slots to carry assault coins. I'll have to see how much like each of these counts. I'm sure there's got to be like a shop guide somewhere. But for now, I'll see you guys later.